Have you ever been in the same room with someone who hurt you, and suddenly they can't seem to look you in the eye? Maybe it's that coworker who tried to put you down, or a friend who let you down. There's this awkward tension in the air, and you can almost feel how uncomfortable they are. It's as if your very presence reminds them of the wrong they did to you. But why do they act this way? Why can't they face you? In this video, we're going to explore the reasons behind their shame and discomfort. By the end, you'll see how their actions reveal your strength and growth. This is about more than just their guilt. It's about recognizing the power you have by staying true to yourself. It's a strange feeling, isn't it? That awkwardness, that tension. It's almost as if the weight of their actions is hanging in the air. You might have wondered if they even realize the impact of what they did. The truth is, they do. And that's exactly why they're struggling to face you now. The discomfort you sense from them is more than just guilt. It's a reflection of something much deeper. So what's really going on in their minds? Why does your presence make them so uneasy? Now let's explore the 7 key reasons why those who mistreated you find it so difficult to face you. We'll start with a crucial one: their fear of judgment. 1. Fear of judgment. Let's begin with one of the most powerful reasons: the fear of judgment. This isn't just about you. It's about how they fear others will perceive them in your presence. Imagine the friend who once betrayed you now avoiding social events, not just to escape you, but to dodge the inevitable judgment of others. They're gripped by the anxiety that people will see them for who they truly are, or worse, that you might reveal the truth about their actions. This fear goes beyond mere social awkwardness. It's an internal panic, a gnawing worry that every whisper in a room, every glance cast in their direction, is a judgment, a silent condemnation of their past behavior. Picture them at a gathering, stiffening as you walk into the room, eyes darting around as if to gauge who's noticed their discomfort. It's as if they're carrying a heavy burden, a secret they can't shake off, no matter how hard they try to appear nonchalant. They worry that each interaction might expose them, that someone might ask a pointed question or make a casual remark that brings their past actions to the forefront. In these moments, they're hyper-aware, as though the truth is a shadow that follows them wherever they go. Your presence intensifies this shadow, making it impossible for them to escape the reality of what they've done. But this fear isn't just about social settings. It creeps into their private moments as well. They might replay scenarios in their mind, questioning how much you know, how much others have figured out. It's a constant mental battle, one that leaves them anxious and on edge. They might even start avoiding certain places or people, all in an attempt to dodge this relentless fear of judgment. This fear serves as a powerful reminder that actions have consequences. In trying to harm you, they've also harmed their own standing in the eyes of others. They've created a web of deceit, and now they're caught in it, unable to find a way out. Every interaction with you is a reminder of this web, a web they wove themselves, now strangling their sense of peace. Ultimately, their fear of judgment is a reflection of their own conscience. It shows that, deep down, they know they were wrong. They might try to put on a brave face, but the fear is always there, lurking beneath the surface, reminding them that the truth cannot be outrun. 2. Regret and remorse. Closely tied to this fear of judgment is the overwhelming weight of regret and remorse. This isn't just about feeling sorry. It's about being haunted by the pain they've caused. Picture a family member who said hurtful things in the heat of the moment, only to later be consumed by guilt when they see the impact on your life. Regret is a bitter pill to swallow, especially when it's too late to take back what was said or done. But remorse runs even deeper. It's the sorrow that comes with realizing the full extent of the harm they've caused. This isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's a heavy burden that lingers, coloring their thoughts and emotions. Imagine them lying awake at night, replaying those moments in their mind, wishing they could turn back time. But time, as we know, only moves forward, leaving them to grapple with the consequences of their actions. Your presence, then, becomes a trigger for these emotions, forcing them to relive their mistakes every time they see you. It's not just the sight of you that stirs these feelings. It's the reminder of the person they were when they hurt you. They might try to avoid you, but even the thought of you is enough to send them spiraling into regret. Regret and remorse often go hand in hand, but they serve different purposes in their emotional landscape. Regret is the recognition of a missed opportunity, a chance to do things differently. It's the what-if that lingers in their mind, the alternate scenarios they wish they could live out. Remorse, on the other hand, is the deep sorrow for the pain they've caused. It's not just about what they lost, it's about what they took from you. But here's the thing. While regret and remorse can be painful, they also hold the potential for growth. In their struggle with these emotions, they are confronted with a choice. Do they continue to run from their guilt, or do they face it and seek to make amends? This is where true change can happen. If they choose to confront their remorse, they might reach out to you, seeking forgiveness, or they might make changes in their own life to ensure they never hurt someone like that again. However, not everyone chooses the path of growth. Some may continue to wallow in regret, never taking the steps needed to make things right. They may become trapped in a cycle of self-pity, unable to move forward because they're too scared to face the truth. In this case, their remorse becomes a prison, one they can't escape without acknowledging the harm they've done. For you, understanding their regret and remorse can bring a sense of closure. It's a reminder that their actions were not without consequence, that they too suffer from the pain they caused. And while this might not erase the hurt they inflicted, it does show that their guilt is a testament to your strength and resilience. Now, speaking of transformation and harnessing your own potential, if you're ready to attract huge money effortlessly starting today, you won't want to miss the link in the comments below. Discover the shocking wealth secrets revealed by a rogue NASA scientist that could revolutionize your financial future. It's an opportunity you don't want to overlook. Click the link and unlock the secrets to abundance. But for now, let's continue our journey. 3. Exposure of true motives. Now let's talk about the exposure of their true motives. Often, people who mistreat others do so under the guise of something else. Jealousy masked as concern, or selfishness disguised as advice. But when the dust settles and time reveals the truth, their real intentions come to light. Imagine a colleague who undermined you at work, pretending it was in the company's best interest, only for their own ambition to be revealed. When their true motives are exposed, they're left in a vulnerable position. They can no longer hide behind their excuses or the facade they carefully constructed. Your success and resilience act as a spotlight, shining on the deceit that once lurked in the shadows. They are left vulnerable, with their true character on display for all to see. This exposure is a harsh reality check for them, forcing them to confront the person they truly are, rather than the person they pretended to be. It's a moment of reckoning, where the lies they told themselves and others are stripped away, revealing the raw truth beneath. Consider how unsettling this must be for them. They spent so much time crafting a narrative that justified their actions, only to have it all come crashing down. Now, they're left with nothing but the truth. A truth they might not be ready to face. This exposure is not just embarrassing. It's a direct threat to their self-image and the way they want others to see them. The exposure of true motives often leads to a ripple effect. Once people see through their facade, they start questioning everything else. Their credibility takes a hit, and they might find themselves on the defensive, trying to explain away their actions. But explanations rarely satisfy when trust has been broken. For you, this exposure can be both satisfying and sobering. It's satisfying because it confirms what you might have suspected all along, that their actions were driven by something other than what they claimed. But it's also sobering, as it reveals the depths to which they were willing to go to achieve their goals, even if it meant harming you in the process. However, this exposure also offers them an opportunity, albeit a painful one. It's a chance to reflect on their behavior and make a conscious choice to change. Some might take this opportunity to grow, to rebuild their character on a foundation of honesty and integrity. Others might continue to deny their true motives, doubling down on their deceit in an attempt to salvage their reputation. But the truth has a way of persisting, and once their true motives are exposed, there's no going back. They're forced to live with the knowledge that their actions are now out in the open, visible for all to see. And in this exposure, you find your own power, a power that comes from living authentically, free from the need to hide behind false motives. 4. Shattered self-image. The shattering of self-image is one of the most profound experiences someone who mistreated you can go through. People often build their identity around certain values: loyalty, kindness, fairness, and believe wholeheartedly in the person they think they are. But what happens when their actions starkly contradict this self-image? Imagine a friend who always saw themselves as loyal, someone who took pride in being trustworthy. They might have justified their betrayal at the moment, telling themselves it was a one-time thing or not that serious. But as time passes, the weight of what they've done starts to chip away at this carefully crafted self-image. Your presence becomes a living, breathing reminder of their betrayal, a mirror reflecting back the harsh truth that they are not the person they believe themselves to be. This kind of identity crisis is not just uncomfortable, it's earth-shattering. They are forced to confront the reality that they may not be as good, kind, or loyal as they always thought. The gap between their actions and their self-perception is so wide that it shakes their very sense of self. This realization can be deeply unsettling. When people are confronted with such a stark contrast between who they thought they were and who they actually are, they often respond in one of two ways: denial or transformation. Denial involves clinging to their old self-image, making excuses for their actions, and avoiding you at all costs. They might convince themselves that it wasn't as bad as it seems, or that you somehow deserved it. But deep down, the seeds of doubt have been planted, and no amount of denial can fully erase that nagging sense of guilt. On the other hand, some may choose the path of transformation. This is where they acknowledge their wrongdoing, accept the discomfort of their shattered self-image, and begin the hard work of rebuilding their identity on more honest grounds. They might seek to make amends, not just with you but within themselves. However, this path is rare because it requires a level of humility and self-awareness that many people find difficult to muster. Your presence, therefore, remains a powerful catalyst for this internal struggle, serving as a reminder that integrity is not just a word but a way of life. 5. Realization of wrongdoing. The realization of wrongdoing is often the first domino to fall in this complex emotional journey. This moment marks the end of their self-deception, where all the justifications and excuses they clung to crumble under the weight of truth. Imagine someone who downplayed their betrayal, telling themselves it was no big deal or that you would eventually get over it. For a while, they might have been able to convince themselves that their actions were justified or even necessary. But as time goes on, and they see the impact of their actions on you, the facade starts to crack. This realization is like a rude awakening, a moment where they can no longer ignore the consequences of their behavior. It's the point where they have to face the fact that their actions were not just a minor misstep, but a significant wrongdoing. This is not an easy pill to swallow. For many, it's easier to continue living in denial than to confront the reality of what they've done. But every time they see you, the truth becomes harder to ignore. Your presence is a constant reminder of the harm they caused, making it nearly impossible for them to continue pretending that everything is fine. What makes this realization so painful is that it forces them to confront not only the harm they've caused you, but also the impact on their own conscience. They begin to see that their actions were a betrayal of their own values and that they've compromised their integrity. This can lead to a profound sense of guilt, one that lingers long after the initial wrongdoing. It's not just about what they did to you, it's about what they did to themselves. They tarnished their own sense of self, and that's a hard thing to live with. This moment of realization is also a turning point. It's the moment where they have to decide how they're going to move forward. Will they continue to run from the truth, or will they face it head-on and seek to make things right? Your presence in their life forces them to grapple with this decision, making it clear that they can no longer hide from the consequences of their actions. It's a powerful reminder that truth has a way of catching up with us all, no matter how hard we try to escape it. 6. Loss of respect. Loss of respect is another significant consequence of their actions, one that cuts deep and lingers for a long time. When someone mistreats you, it's not just your relationship that suffers, it's their reputation as well. Respect is something that is earned through consistent behavior and integrity, and once it's lost, it's incredibly difficult to regain. Imagine a coworker who was once respected and admired, now struggling to command the same authority after their true nature is revealed. Or a friend who was once the life of the party, now finding themselves on the outskirts of social gatherings, unable to shake the shame of what they did. The loss of respect isn't just about how others see them, it's also about how they see themselves. When someone realizes that their actions have cost them the respect of others, it forces them to confront the fact that they have also lost respect for themselves. This can be a deeply humbling experience, one that strips away the ego and leaves them feeling vulnerable and exposed. They start to see that respect isn't something that can be demanded or taken for granted. It has to be earned, and it can be lost in an instant. Your presence is a constant reminder of this loss. Every time they see you, they are reminded of the respect they once had and the actions that led to its downfall. This can lead to a sense of isolation, as they withdraw from social situations to avoid facing the consequences of their behavior. They might try to convince themselves that it doesn't matter, that they don't care what others think. But deep down, they know that respect is something that everyone craves, and losing it is a painful experience. This loss of respect can also lead to a shift in their self-image. They start to see themselves in a different light, one that is less flattering and more honest. This can be a difficult thing to accept, especially if they've always prided themselves on being a person of integrity. The realization that they are no longer seen as trustworthy or reliable can be a hard pill to swallow, leading to a sense of shame that is hard to shake. 7. Missed opportunities. The realization of missed opportunities is perhaps the most painful consequence of all. This is the moment when they understand that their actions didn't just hurt you, they also deprived them of something meaningful. Think of the friend who chose betrayal over loyalty, now watching from the sidelines as you thrived without them. Or the family member who belittled your dreams, now seeing you succeed in ways they never imagined. The bitterness of missed opportunities is a heavy burden to carry, one that lingers long after the initial wrongdoing. This realization is particularly painful because it forces them to confront the fact that they could have had something special, whether it was a deep friendship, a supportive relationship, or a fulfilling connection, but they threw it away. They see the joy, the success, and the fulfillment they could have shared with you, but they chose a different path. This is not just a moment of regret. It's a moment of deep sorrow as they come to terms with what they've lost. Your presence serves as a constant reminder of these missed opportunities. Every time they see you, they are reminded of the life they could have had, the connections they could have nurtured, and the joy they could have experienced. This realization is a double-edged sword. It cuts deep with regret, but it also serves as a potential catalyst for change. It forces them to reevaluate their priorities and hopefully strive to build positive, meaningful relationships in the future. But the path to redemption is not easy. It requires a willingness to face the truth, to acknowledge the pain they've caused, and to seek to make things right. This is not something that everyone is capable of doing. Some may continue to live in denial, clinging to the belief that they did nothing wrong. Others may choose to take the hard road, working to rebuild the relationships they've damaged and to make amends for their past actions. Whatever path they choose, the realization of missed opportunities is a powerful reminder that our actions have consequences, and those consequences can last a lifetime. In conclusion, so what does all this mean for you? Every time someone who hurt you can't face you, it's not just about their discomfort. It's a reflection of the power you hold. Their fear, regret, and the shattered illusions about themselves are all signs of how much impact you've made. Remember, your strength and growth are highlighted every time their guilt makes them uneasy. And here's the real takeaway. Their struggle to face you reveals the truth about their actions and your own resilience. You've grown beyond their negativity, and that's something to be proud of. If you're ready to transform your life and attract incredible opportunities effortlessly, don't miss out on the link in the comments below. Discover the secrets to financial abundance revealed by a rogue NASA scientist. Click the link and unlock your path to prosperity. Thank you for watching, and remember, your strength shines through every challenge. See you in the next video.